Hi, I'm John. Welcome to the Jazz Karaoke Jams website tutorial. To keep this tutorial as short as possible, I'm going to bypass talking about anything that can be understood with a very short read. The first paragraph, or sentence, gives you a link to the Kijiji ad where you can register with a group. You can also register with a group through Craigslist. When you register with a group, you get a newsletter the first of the month, every month. And I'll send you one right away to get you orientated. Second paragraph explains how we lost the first location, why we lost it, and what I've done to prevent losing the second location through pre-planning of all the songs on the website so people can pre-practice, and there's other reasons for it too. They're listed here. Third paragraph is an explanation of how the jams are organized. When you get the newsletter, there's a better, more thorough paragraph which is called How It Works in a Nutshell. This is a jam information table. It gives you the 3 locations, some basic information about the jams, and buttons to get to the other pages. There are a number of links below the jam information table down here. I'm not going to explain them because they're pretty straightforward. I'll make one exception, and that's this one. It gives the member available times. I'm going to click on it. Brings up a page. It gives the days and the times when people are available, the members are available. And as you can see at the bottom, these are the numbers. You can see Sunday is by far the most popular day. Okay, back to the jam information table. Every table in the website has a link at the top of the column where you can click it to get a pop-up help. I'm not going to go over them all, but every single table in the website has that. Okay, in the location column we have 3 locations. In the jam date column, it's a little more complicated. If it says needs people, that means the jam is just completed. This number of people column will be 1, and what's happened is I've gone back into the schedule, which you can access here. I've gone into the schedule and put in my songs that I can jam as a way to kick off the jam. Through the schedule, people can indicate they want to join in, and when another person joins in, this number becomes 2, and I assign a jam date here. Okay, start column. Start times, end times of the jam. Number of people. Now another point about the number of people column. When a second person joins in, I send an email to the group, and that number will be 2. You can take note of that. You can come into the home page maybe once a day and notice, oh, it's gone up to 3. In that case, you go to this column, look at the time, the date and time the update occurred, and then you can click on the updates button to go in and see the updates that actually took place, like new songs, cancellations, someone joined in on a rhythm on a particular song, or whatever. Okay, you can go to this button to see the schedule, and you can go to this button to see the layout, which is the top view of where we sit and jam. In the Updates column, you'll notice the Updates button. That takes you to the Updates page. I'm not going to mention anything except the song name, which you'll want to see, and the message, which indicates what's happened. In this case, John WB, that's me. On guitar, I've initiated a song, and I've put in 39 songs. I do that 2 or 3 days after the jam finishes. And then as other people join in, you'll see additional updates, new songs added, maybe some cancellations, whatever. Okay, and the only other thing worth noticing is, or that I want to point out, is the View Schedule page. You can go directly to the schedule from this page. Okay, I'm going to skip the Schedule button, and I'm going to go directly to the Layout. It shows a top view of the layout where we would be playing. This one's Supreme Restaurant and Bar. You can see there's 2 pictures. You can see on the first picture there's room for 3x3 drums, and there's room for players or vocalists or whatever out front. I'm off to the side with the computer and the mixing board, myself playing, my music stand. Currently, the last jam I swung the table around so I can see the musicians, so I'm not really facing away from them. There's another picture down below without drums. You can see there's room for a keyboard, a vocalist or sax player or whatever out to the side. Guitar and bass in the back, and again myself off to the left. That's about all there is to know about this page. I'm going to go back to the home page. Supreme Restaurant and Bar is the only one that has a layout, and if there's no layout you'll get a pop-up saying there's no layout. And these two don't have a layout. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click the schedule button. The schedule is actually a Jam schedule plus input form page. Members get a button down here they use to send me an email after they've filled out the white fields. This pop-up is to warn them that they don't have a button, so they shouldn't go ahead. It occurs when you come in through the schedule through the Kijiji ad or through the Craigslist ad. Non-members can play around with these fields to learn how it works, but you're actually better to register. To participate in a jam, you fill out all the white fields. There's 4 steps involved. The first step involves entering the personal settings. The page remembers most of the settings, therefore normally you should only have to do that once. The second step involves updating the new song table or making entries in the new song table. Again, filling out the white fields. The third step involves showing what songs you want to participate in. That involves clicking on these fields. And the fourth step involves sending me the email. There should be a button here for members. You click that to send me the email. I get the email. I know who it came from based upon the member name initial setting here. I update the actual schedule and I send you a confirmation with a link back to the schedule so you can get to it quickly. All the updates will bubble to the top or be sorted to the top based upon the number of people participating. That's the way the schedule works. It's sort of random, the way it organizes it. Okay, I'm going to go over the personal settings in detail. When you hover your mouse over the personal settings, you'll notice there's help off to the left. You probably don't actually need that help because everything's pretty straightforward, all this information, the descriptor explains it. If you want to shut the help off, you can click this button, and when you hover over, you won't get the help. If you want it back, you click it again, and it'll reappear again. As you tab through the fields, as you enter each field, it'll also show it as you tab into each field. Once you tab out to another field on the form somewhere, it'll vanish. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for now. Okay, I'm going to start going over the personal settings fields. The personal settings fields are all the white fields within this box. The page remembers the updates to most of these fields. The top field is the member name initials. I'm going to select one. You just go down to whichever one's correct for you. It's your first name and middle initial and last initial. Okay, that field has to be filled out because there's a button here to send the email. If that's not filled out, you'll get an error. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the desired days of the week field, which is in the personal settings area. If you were to click on the V here, you'll see the video for the desired days of the week field, which is the one you're watching right now. If you click on this V, you'll see the video for the whole schedule page. Okay, back to the desired days of the week field. I'll read the placeholder. Click the Cal button to see the available days. So Cal stands for calendar. You'll see the calendar pop up. Now before I get into that, I'm going to turn on the help. Come down here, click here, go Shift Tab back up, and come around and read all the help, and then it will give you a little demo. When a jam date, which shows in the top right of the schedule page, has not been set, the jam date will say needs people. And that's over here, right there. Okay, so obviously, if it takes 2 people to have a jam, and if I'm only performing, it's a performance. So we need at least 2 people to have a jam. Okay. When a jam schedule is in the needs people state, you can initiate a jam very quickly with 3 easy steps. Step 1, click the Cal button on the right side of the desired days of the week text box to show the calendar of my available jam days. We've already done that. Step 2, click directly on the calendar's available jam dates that are best for you, the ones on the calendar with the green background. That's these guys. Your selected dates get copied into the desired days of the week field.
You'll see them go in. As soon as you click it, you'll see one of them pop in. Step 3, click the Cal button to hide the calendar. You are done. When you have finished entering your song participation info, you of course will click the button to send the email, which is located in the middle right side of the page. When I receive your email, I will update the schedule with one of the dates you entered on the desired days of the week text box. As I will send you a confirmation email with a link to the schedule. You will see the jam date in the top right corner of the schedule. You will also notice that the desired days of the week text box is hidden, since there is no longer a need to select a jam date. Lastly, you will also be able to verify I updated the song schedule correctly. And now that the schedule has a jam date, I will email the rest of the members to announce the jam. Okay, so let's do that. I'll hide the schedule. I'm going to turn the help off. Once again, I'm going to turn the calendar back on. I'm going to come down here. Let's say you're available the 26th of August and the 2nd of September and the 9th of September. You'll notice it's put these dates in here. Now I turn the calendar off. You're finished. Less than 10 seconds. Of course, if you have to go to your actual calendar and see if you're available, that's going to take longer, but I have no idea of how long that will take. Okay, so at this point, you'll possibly create a special message, just like a regular email. You'll come over here and enter any new songs using the defaults, if you have any new songs, or you will participate in existing songs by clicking on these fields to show the R, S, or M, or click the A to show all. And you're done, and then at that point, you'll click the Send Email button, which gives me all the information. I get the email, I update the schedule, I send you an email back with a link back to the schedule so you can get to it quickly, and you'll be able to confirm all my entries have been done correctly. You'll notice that the Needs People changes to the actual jam date I selected of the ones you sent me, and you'll notice that this text box is blank, and the invisible, hidden is the right word, and the Cal button is also hidden. And that's it for the video. The next thing I want to talk about in the personal settings area is your instrument. To do that, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to choose bass. You just scroll down, I'll choose bass. Okay, so in this situation, if you happen to play bass and also sing, and you're entering new songs, you can indicate you're singing. I'll know you're singing by the Y that you enter there. Now, if you want to participate in a song, you can leave a note here saying, I always do the melody vocally, and I participate in the rhythm section with the bass. So that would tell me that when you click the M to indicate you're doing melody, that I should replace myself doing melody with you, your name, and vocals. Now when you click the R, I know that you'll be going the rhythm section with your name, initials, and the bass. Now I'm going to take those out. Okay, so the next item is direct boxes. If you're playing electric bass, that'll be 1, electric guitar would be 1, acoustic guitar 0, acoustic bass 0, E-drums would be 1, whatever. Okay, so this is memorized. You may as well fill it out, assuming it doesn't change a lot. For a number of mics, if you're singing and bass, it'll obviously be 1. If you're also bringing an acoustic guitar and singing and playing acoustic guitar, you put a 2 there. I have no way of knowing unless you come often and I know your setup. I always record these. They go on SoundCloud, so I need to know in advance, and I don't want to bring anything to the restaurant that I don't need because it's not insured, and I just don't want to do any work I don't really need to do. So for this example, I'm going to put 1 and 1. Now for number of friends, at my home in Markham it's blank because you can't really bring friends. At the Stovall Fingerstyle Guitar Association, it's also blank, but it's a restaurant, and you can bring friends. Now, at the restaurant where I bring the equipment to do the jams, the text field is here. The owner says that the number of people that come, the regular customers that come, can vary wildly and unexpectedly. So I always call them at 3:30 to make sure we're going to have seats. So it's important, if you're going to bring a lot of friends, to
put something in there, indicate the number. Now for the notes, if you want to have a note memorized, you click the link. So I'm going to do an example. Test message. And I click the link. You get a pop-up that says, a cookie has been created to store your note suggestions. Test message. If you want to blank that out and have it remembered as blank, it'll say, your notes are blank. The cookie that stores your note suggestion has been removed. So either way, you have to click the link to have it memorize whatever's there. And that's it for personal settings. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the new song table. Whenever you click any row in the song name column, the fake book list will pop up. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to click on the top one. Okay, so you can see the fake book list is popped up with the codes and the descriptions. You also get a pop-up message. And it points out the fact that the fake book list came up, and it points out the fact that you can click this button here to take it out or put it back again, to toggle it on and off. Okay, you probably only want to see this message once, so you can click this checkbox so it doesn't show up again, and then click OK to get rid of it. Now I'll show you that button here. You can toggle it on and off. You might want to come back here and look at something and toggle it off for whatever reason. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is the defaults at the bottom. They are for the remaining columns of that table. The default for the fake book code is Real Book, Berklee College, volume whatever. If you leave that blank, I won't know which of the 3 fake books it is. So what I'll do is I'll go into the Jazz FM tip, and I'll come to this fake book index. I'll click on that, and I'll do a song name search to get the actual fake book. It's pretty good. I think I've seen one that was missing. Okay, so that takes care of that default. The original recording speed is the default for the beats per minute. I listen to all the songs on YouTube, and I set the speeds in the master file, and the speeds are listed here, as you can see. Right, and those are all the defaults. I practice them up to the default. Okay, so they're either the original recording speed or a popular speed. The next default is singing is no. The next default for semitone shift is not applicable. If you're not singing, it'll be non-applicable. For soloing, the default is yes, because we're all about jamming and doing solos. Okay, so I'm going to fill out a column. I'm going to type in all of me, tab over, and select a fake book, volume 1, Berklee College. Okay, so this beats per minute column is generally only filled out if you're playing the song slower or maybe even faster than normal. You might be playing it at 100, for example. So you would fill that out. Singing, let's say you sing, you put in a Y. Semitone shift, if you're singing it up a bit, +5 semitones, or maybe down, -4 semitones below the melody in the fake book. If you're not soloing, you override the default put in. So a lot of people would just fill out the song name exactly as you would in an email. I've noticed people like to do that. They just fill out the song name and they send it to me. This reminds you that you need to think about these things, because I don't want to have to get into a back and forth email situation, which takes a lot of time. That's what this whole thing is about, is avoiding that excessive amount of time. Okay, but most people leave it blank and all the defaults. At least you know what they are. Okay, the other thing I want to mention I'm going to go over the fake book table. The codes are pretty straightforward. We've got Real Book, Berklee College, Volume 1, Real Book, Berklee College, Volume 1. So RB for Real Book, BC for Berklee College, and Volume 1. There's 3 of them. Here you got Real Book, HL for Hal Leonard, V1, Volume 1, but they're Roman numerals. Hal Leonard, my books are the Roman numeral versions. Hal Leonard, I think they have 3, which are the numbers. They're the play-alongs. The songs are a bit different in those. I know I was checking, I think it was the second one. The songs don't match, There's some are missing, and there's extra songs. And almost for sure the chords are going to be different, and they do that, I think, on purpose. Okay, the next thing in the fake book table is a column for owners. This is an indication of how many owners seem to use it. usage, how often they're used. The most popular one is the Berklee College Volume 1. Next most popular is the Hal Leonard Volume 1. Okay, so the one thing I want to mention now is that fakebook index stays up until you either shut it off on purpose using the Hide Fakebooks button, or when you come down to do the jam schedule updates, if you click any of these fields, it goes away. I'm going to take that out for now. So that takes care of the new song table. Okay, now I'm going to go over the jam schedule, column by column. The first column is the start time of the songs. These are actually pretty accurate. The variance is in the gap between the songs. The computer keeps a record of when we start and end the songs, so it gets a pretty good average of 4 to 5 minutes. That's why there's filler music between the songs. The biggest use of these times is so the people coming to jam know what songs to practice. They have a rough estimate of what songs will be played by 10 o'clock. There are other uses, but that's probably the main one. Song number and person number, you don't need to worry about that. That used to be useful, but these fields here have eliminated the need for you to worry about them. These fields are to indicate what you're going to do on playing the song. So when you click that, it indicates you want to play melody. When you click that, it indicates you want to play solo. You can click it again to take it away. When you click that, it indicates you want to be involved with the rhythm section. You click it again to take it away. Click that and it fills out all of them. Now, regarding clicking the melody, you can only indicate you want to do melody if I'm the song initiator, and this is the column where it indicates that you're playing melody, like it's being played with guitar. Okay, and this is the person who initiates the song. People who initiate songs, typically it's assumed you are going to do the melody when you put in new songs. Okay, so if for example, you came along, you said, I want to play melody. You put that in. I update the schedule, and once I get it updated, your name shows there, and maybe you're singing. If someone else comes along to do melody and they click that, they'll get an error because you've already claimed this song. Okay, so that takes care of that. Well, if you click all and someone else is playing melody other than myself, it will give you the same error, and it will actually leave it like that because you're not allowed to play melody if it's someone other than myself. Song name, if you click on that, you'll get a download of the actual backing track to your computer. You can use that to practice. It's pretty good that way. You know, you're going to be practicing against the exact backing track that I'm using. Song speed, these are typically the original recording speed, or possibly another artist who is well known did that, and I listened to all the YouTubes and I set up these speeds. You can email me. You can put a message in here if you want me to make one of them slower, because you can't quite do it up to that speed. There's no problem. The Fakebook codes, you can click on the code to get the description. You see the code at the top and then the description. These, of course, all match the Fakebook codes and the descriptions here. This is the song initiator. I initiate 39 or whatever songs at the beginning, right after the last jam, just to kick it off. This is the instrument that's going to be playing melody. It could be vocals, whatever. This is the rhythm section information. It'll be name, initials, and the instrument. Okay, we finished the schedule. I'm going to go and click this link. It says, for instructions on using the schedule, click here and study the third picture. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to scroll directly down to the third picture, skip the other pictures, which we've gone over in the tutorial. And these are the step-by-step instructions on how to interpret the schedule. There's also a 7th step, which is to click the email when you're finished everything, and that would be your last step of the 4 steps, of the 4 groupings. Okay, so let's go through it quickly. Okay, the first thing you would want to do is look at the song to see if you can play the song, if you're interested in that song. You check for a key shift. It would be over here. I won't get into that. That's pretty straightforward. Second step would be to see if you can find the word full at the end, as I show here. If I feel it's full, there's no one can fit in the song, I'll mark it as full. If it's full, you can't do it. Step number 3 is to see look for your instrument. If there's already a bass player and you play bass, you won't be able to join in, that type of thing. If there's 3 guitarists, you probably want to back off if you play guitar. If there's two guitarists, someone else and myself, you can join in and I'll step out and I'll do the mix and maybe I'll come in and do a solo. So that's number 3. For number 3, percussions at this point are finished. For percussionists, actually, sometimes they would give me a note saying they're willing to share the drums with another drummer, and that could even be the same with piano, right? Okay, step number 4 would be to determine if you have the fake book, and if you have time to learn it, right? Step number 5 is to look at the song speed to see if you can play it up to that speed. That's pretty straightforward. It gives players a target to work towards. And step number 6 is to do the updates, which I went over before, indicating whether you want to play melody or do solos or rhythm, or if you want to speed up doing this, you just click A to indicate all of them. And step number 7 is to go up and click the email button. Now you can read through these things if you want in more detail. There's a little tip here to use Chrome, and there's 3 reasons to use it. One of the reasons, the big reason I like to use it, is when you do Control F to search the page, you can, if you're searching for bass to see if there's bass players, it highlights all of them immediately. And that's all I want to say on this page. Okay, we're back to the schedule page. I want to show you the picture with time-saving tips. Some of the stuff I've done before, so I'm just going to zip across it left to right. This I've shown you, this I've shown you, this I've shown you, this I've shown you. This I haven't shown you. For members, you can get my phone number if you need to call me. So that would be a speed up, hopefully. Now, over here, I didn't mention, it is quite possible if you want to put a song up here, you could grab the name from here by doing a cut and paste operation. You'd click here with the left mouse button and hold it down, drag across so you don't hit the link. Press Control C to capture it and bring it up here and click on wherever you want to put it and press Control V to release it. That's pretty quick if you do it often enough. I talked about this, I talked about that, I talked about this as well. So that's the whole thing on that. This, you can create a desktop icon for the members. They can create a desktop icon, and this shows you how to do it. I'm not going to explain it. You just be aware it's there. This is for drummers. Drummers can do, using the website is so much faster than email for drummers, mainly because they can memorize a consistent message that they want if they want to come out and jam often. They need a 3x3 drum kit. It's mentioned down here. They basically can do 3 button clicks and they're done. All I got to do is check the schedule. They may want to search for a bass player. I know one drummer likes to come out, is willing to come out if there's a bass player. All he's got to do is press Control F on the browser on Google Chrome and it'll highlight bass wherever it's found. So that's basically all he would want to do, unless he's noted there's a special guest in the message I send out to announce the jam. So he's basically got 3 button clicks, one to open up the page, does a quick check, one to send the email, and one to close the browser, and he's done. So that's the end of the speed up tips.